3. The driver, Declan O'Malley, was dragged into a cell by 2 burly SNE police officers. Bloody bubbles dripped from his mouth, smearing the floor and forming a small red puddle. "Have a wee lie down, you filthy tag bastard, and tell us something interesting about the so. Or your dirty terrorist pals will be informed you're a filthy With a contorted, angry face, he told them, "Fuck you, orange scum." The cell door slammed shut, the extra bright lights clicked on, and the screeching beep noise exploded into his brain, making him violently projectile vomit and sob like a baby. "Please, dear God, make it stop," he begged. The noise grew increasingly louder. It seemed like his head would explode. And then, suddenly, it stopped. He curled up in the fetal position, waiting for the inevitable kicking. O'Malley angrily hit the button on his alarm, sitting bolt upright, drenched in sweat, and rubbed his bearded face. He needed a piss, lighting what remained of last night's cigarette, sucking the last dregs of stale smoke into his lungs as the alarm that had been part of his nightmare told him it was 7:38 hours. In flashing green, that fucking Brit bastard can even let me get a good night's sleep. Declan's hatred for his twin brother was immeasurable. "I should have killed the fucker in the womb." The shame of having a brother who became a traitor to his people and joined the Brits in the fucking hated SAS had caused him so much grief, and he almost lost his life on several occasions that even changed his name by deed poll to O'Malley. Declan was a hardcore Republican, but he felt he had to constantly prove himself to his fellow Republicans due to his brother's treason against his people, making him a precious asset to the most vicious terrorist group to emerge post the Good Friday peace agreement, the Sons of Eirinn, or so to the British. The cigarette butt hissed, extinguishing as he dropped it into the dregs of last night's sturdy whiskey glass on his bedside table. Reluctantly, he swung his skinny legs out of his messy, sweat-stained bed into his freezing, damp flat. Going into the bathroom, he splashed some cold water on his face, never looking directly into the dusty, smeared mirror as he drained his bladder into the filthy toilet. His usual weird, irrational thought started when he was a kid. If he looked directly into the mirror, he would see the devil who would take him to hell because he was a murderer now and a bully then. So, he saw himself as a freedom fighter. Even though deep down he knew that he enjoyed killing, it made him feel powerful and righteous. He was on a mission from God, a crusade against the English invaders. That's how he justified his mental illness. Every one of those Brit soldiers and dirty peelers he helped kill with his expertise in making IEDs made him happy and content. He prayed that one day he would be given the opportunity to kill one particular Brit, his biological brother, although he didn't like to use that term, the brother part. He imagined how proud the SOE would be of him for killing a SAS soldier and once and forever proving his loyalty to them, even though they should never have doubted him in the first place. The ungrateful bastards. Opening the moldy fridge, he scanned the empty shelves for some breakfast. Since his last girlfriend, Bridget, had left him because he used her like a blow-up sex toy in a punching bag, his domestic situation had rapidly gone downhill. One out-of-date cherry yogurt was his only choice. He tossed it in the bin with a sneer, had a swig from the plastic carton of milk, wiped his mouth at the back of his hand, grabbed his brown leather jacket from the back of the chair, checking his car keys were in the pocket, and slammed the door shut on his flat. His nosy neighbor was leaving his flat simultaneously. "Morning, Declan," he greeted cheerfully, just nodding his head in reply. Declan carried on down the dark stairway, tripping over empty lager cans and general waste. He pulled his thin leather jacket collar up around his neck in a futile attempt at protecting him from the biting Belfast chill that made him involuntarily shiver. Then, pressing the key fob, he opened the door to his rusty beige-colored 10-year-old Ford, grinning again, recalling using the same technology when he detonated a bomb under the car of a police officer using a key fob, sadly not killing him but leaving him without legs. Nobody knew more about RCIEDs, remote-controlled improvised explosive devices, than him. He didn't get the nickname Terminator for nothing. Getting in the car, he was about to put the key in the ignition when suddenly he froze. He had not done his usual check underneath for any suspect device. Maybe a present from the loyalist paramilitaries, or even one of his Republican pals, who would like nothing more than to kill him because of his brother, or, more realistically, his gambling debts. What the fuck is the matter with me? He was sloppy, and it annoyed him. With a shaking hand, he pushed the key in the ignition and said, "God, if you want me dead now, this is your time." A bead of sweat ran down his back, even though it was a frosty morning. Turning the key to the right, he clenched his teeth as the engine started in a cloud of black diesel exhaust fumes for the first time. Then, grabbing the set of rosary beads wrapped around the rearview mirror, he reverently kissed the cross, blessing himself. He put it in first gear, ensuring he indicated, keeping below the speed limit, not wanting to give the security forces a reason to stop him, then set off along Donegal Road like any other ordinary citizen. Please like, subscribe, and share. Read AA McNally's book Sons of Eirinn, Operation Celtic Jihad.